Hey folks, it's Abby and today I'm going to be telling you the books that I am trying to read in August. So in August I am taking part in 2 readathons. One of them is the Mary-Shelley-A-Thon hosted by Caitlin from My Cheshire Rabbit, and this is a readathon to celebrate Mary Shelley's life. All of the links to the 2 readathons will be down below in the description, please do check it out. But yes, so Mary Shelley was born on the 31st of August, so she's decided to kind of do the readathon this month and have all Mary Shelley themed prompts. And then the other readathon I'm taking part in, I'm actually co-hosting. The wonderful Lizzie herself is the one hosting the readathon, and that is the Middle Earthathon. That is taking place from the 28th of August until the 2nd of September to celebrate the fact that the brand new Lord of the Rings series is coming out on the 2nd of September. So, I have those prompts to fulfill, as well as my books. So, I'm gonna go with the book boxes first, and then the rest of the books from the TBRs. First up, from my Goldsboro GSFF box, we have The Final Strife by El-Arifi. I know almost nothing about this. It's a high fantasy, and I think it has lesbians in. Goldsboro has never steered me wrong so far, so I'm very excited to dive into this. Literally, that's all I know. And you guys know how much I love Goldsboro. They're so good, they're so good. So, very excited to read this. Literally, that's all I know about it. But Goldsboro never steers me wrong. And then the other book box I have for now is Illumicrate, and the book for this month is The Drowned Woods by Emily Lloyd-Jones. What I know about this one, I know a little more, and this is a book with fae, utilising mythology and being based in Wales. Usually not keen on fae in books, but can deal with it when set in Celtic regions and in Celtic scenarios, so should hopefully be okay. We shall see. And then I have one final book that is not on the prompts, and I don't know what that one is yet because I'm reviving the TBR jar. I have not added new books into here for a few months now. I'm not quite sure how far back, so it doesn't have the most recent books added to my TBR, but maybe that's a good thing. So let's see what I end up with. Please don't be anything awful. I will just put it back if I don't like it. Oh, okay. I think I might go with the second one. Let me grab it. The second slip that I pulled out is Fire by Kristen Cashore, which is the second book in the Graceling series. I think I might go with this. And even though Carrie will have been mad at me, not mad at me, but Carrie will have been mad at me for not reading this, she'll be very excited that I'm reading more in the Graceling series. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I have some very large books on my TBR, so I need to be realistic. So, We Hunt the Flame can go back in for another month. I'm not even going to apologise for cheating, I don't give a damn. So I've got the book of notes in front of me, so I remember which book goes with which prompts for which readathon. So we're starting off with the Mary-Shelley-A-Thon, purely because that is starting from the 1st of August until the 31st, and the first prompt is to read something written by Mary Shelley. Now I don't own anything physical by Mary Shelley that I haven't read. The only thing I own is Frankenstein, and I didn't want to do a reread, so I thought instead that I would look for one of her short stories and get that electronically and read that. So I'm reading Matilda, or Mathilda, by Mary Shelley. I know pretty much nothing, but it's probably going to be some sort of gothic horror situation, which I'm excited about. It says on Goodreads that it is 79 pages, so hopefully this will be one that I can get through reasonably quickly and won't add too much to the TBR. Okay, one of the ones that is a bit bigger, so the next prompt is to read a poem or a collection of poems. That's inspired by the fact that Mary Shelley also wrote poetry. Depending on how much I get through, will depend on whether I read some poems or all of this book, but I'm going to go with the collected poems of Robert Burns. This was gifted to me by Caitlin, the host of the Readathon, because it is a Scottish poet and she thought I would enjoy that. She is Scottish and she knows that I love connecting more with my mum's side. I have already started it. At one point I was trying to read a poem a night, but life went really bad. So I got to page 46. I'm halfway through a poem, so I'm just going to move that back to 45, because that's not going to make any sense otherwise. So I got to page 45 in the book. Considering it is a 590, oh no, it's a 600 page book, precisely. I will try and read all of it, but we'll see. This is the last book for the Mary Shelley prompts, and the first book for the Middle Earthathon prompts. And that is, on one side, a book that is outside of my comfort zone, that's the Mary-Shelley prompt, but also there is a prompt for a TBR veteran for the Mary-Shelley-A-Thon. And then for the Middle Earthathon, the prompt is the oldest book on your TBR. Now, I don't know the oldest book on my TBR. I don't know. But I've had this since 2016, which is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. It's a historical fiction set in World War II about a blind girl navigating France and Paris when the Nazis have invaded. It is 500 pages, and when I picked this up I was reading a lot of historical fiction, but now I really struggle with it, so this is outside of my comfort zone and I would like to actually cross it off the list. Then the first book that is solely for the Middle Earthathon, and that is the prompt for a shiny cover. And for that I'm reading Demon Road by Landy. I thought this was really suitable considering, one, this entire thing is so shiny, and two, Lizzie was in the Dead Famous read-along that Hannah from Ladder M hosted for the Scholarly Pleasant series by the same author. So I thought it was appropriate that I got around to this one. Also, even though this is 500 pages, I know that I read Landy quite quickly. I read most of the books in the Scholarly Pleasant series in one day, even though some of them were 600 pages. So, should be a nice quick read, and it's definitely shiny. So the final prompt is a short story compilation or a collection or an anthology. And as you guys know, I try to read from my physical TBR. And that left me really limited this time. Other options I could have chosen is the entire works of Jane Austen, 4 different books in a bind-up by Charles Dickens, or this one. I don't know if I've made the right choice. We shall see. This is The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This book is 1,100 pages long, and as you can see, if I hold it up against this, it's bigger than a normal book. The reason I am doing this, before you think I am absolutely going beyond my means, is that I tend to read through these Sherlock books really quickly. I've actually read a fair few of these before, but the reason I wanted a complete collection, which was, again, gifted to me by Caitlin from Cheshire Rabbit. Dude, stop. Oh! I didn't mention, this was given to me by Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe. Thank you, Olivia. But yes, so, the reason she got me this is because she knew that I wanted the complete collection, so I could figure out what I had read and what I hadn't. So I'm just going to read through the entire thing, so that I can count it as read, and take it off of my TBR shelves. So hopefully it won't take me too long to get through. We'll see. So that is what I'm reading for the short story collection. I will say that if I don't finish it, I'm going to mark the prompt as complete as long as I've read 5 short stories from the Sherlock collection, is what I'm going to say. So I think that's reasonable. 5, like, out of, I think there's like 20 or something. It's still a small number, but it's not so small that it's like taking the piss. I think that's fair. That is my August TBR. I have no idea if I'm actually going to manage it. I've been reading a lot less recently than I normally do. I know that this is a fair number of books, regardless, but I normally read more than this, so we'll see. We'll see how I manage. Let me know in the comments what you're reading this month, what book you're most excited for. I kind of think that I'm actually most excited to read through the entirety of Sherlock Holmes, but I'm also, like, terrified, because it's over 1,000 pages long. If you'd like to see if I manage that, come back at the end of August, and we'll see whether or not I manage to read these books. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!